What is going on, y'all? It's your boy VeLL, and we are back with another Mobile Legends video. Before we jump into it, if you're watching M1 right now, make sure you drop that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, make sure you turn on the notifications, all that stuff. We're going to be having a lot of content coming very, very soon. Like, I'm excited just watching this M1 event. And I have some news for you all. I have some really interesting stuff to talk about. Starting off, Gosu has some roster changes. So yes, some changes are coming. Paulo is playing. Paulo is a player. He has his player badge, and they said that he announced that he was going to be playing for Gosu. So that changes everything. I told you all that I think Paulo is one of the crucial players needed for Gosu to actually perform well. So shout out to him because he's actually going to be playing. And I think that means probably the most likely person to sit out in this scenario would be Orochi. Since he wasn't officially part of their team, they just picked him up because they were forced to, really. So I think that he might be playing for them. And I think what's interesting about this is this probably is happening because they got a different coach. The coach of RRQ and the coach of Onyx, that coach actually ended up coaching Gosu. So I guess because they have a different coach now, Paulo is no longer considered the coach, so now he can be a player. So it all worked out. Like, I don't know the inner workings and the inner details, but what we do know is that Paulo is going to be playing for Gosu. So shout out to them. But one thing that's really, really bad, one thing that's not good for them is that there is a team coming through today, just like they have never been here before either. Vietnam is destroying, bro. Vietnam has secured their spot in the playoffs. So this is really, really bad for Gosu. Now, this puts a lot of pressure on Gosu at this point because Vietnam has never been, obviously, to an event like this before. They've never competed against the three big countries, Singapore, Philippines, and Indonesia. That's basically where the pro scene is big, and this is basically where all the quote-unquote good players are from. That's what that means, basically. Like, since the beginning, Philippines, Singapore, and Malaysia, and basically Indonesia, this is where everyone who's good, you're considered to be from those places. Now, VFM comes through from Vietnam, and they're just proving that that's not the case. They almost beat RRQ, and to be fair, yes, Lemon is out and R7 is out. They're missing, like, RRQ is missing a few players, but RRQ almost got knocked out by this team, yo. Like, RRQ almost had to, it would have been bad for RRQ. So yeah, that was going to be a tough one, but that by itself means that Gosu is going to have to step it up and really come with it, because this team, this VFM team, is actually going up against some of the best teams in Mobile Legends. All of these teams got reputations for being some of the best and some of the strongest. Now, I'm not just talking about just because they made it to these events, they're some of the best. Like, everyone who's made it to this event are some of the best players in the world. But when you're talking about coming close to beating names like RRQ and beating names like Evos, that's just a different, you're in a different tier at that point. And VFM is actually had one of the hardest brackets that they could have possibly got in. And the great news about this is, shout out to Vietnam, they actually like took Evos out of there. They took Evos out of Evos SG, they knocked them out, and they secured their spot in the playoffs. So literally, VFM has taken out one of the most famous teams in Mobile Legends. Like, they took out Evos SG, and they're going to be moving on to the playoffs. Now, the pressure comes in the fact that Gosu now Gosu can't go in there and get swept at this point, because they're getting coached by Evos, they're getting coached by Onyx, they're getting coached by Doggy. They have everything in their favor right now, and if a random team who has none of that from Vietnam can just come up and start taking out these top teams, they first off competed with RRQ, and then they just took out Evos SG. Now, I mean, and I don't want to say that Gosu's Gosu's little group or whatever is bad, but they're not to the same quality of players as Evos. Clearly, it's not the same quality. It's a completely different thing. It's not the same quality of players there. It's just not. Well, at least not the same type of reputations. You know, like RRQ is known for winning events and stuff like that. When it comes down to the people that Gosu is going to be competing with, they're like, nobody in their division is that big. So basically, here's the names of the people in Gosu's division. They're going to be going against Burmese Schools, Axis Esports, Candy Comeback, and that's it. Those are the three in their division. Now, what we just watched right here, this was Evos, RRQ, Impunity, and VFM. So basically, like, they had to go up against Evos and an RRQ. So this is clearly one of the toughest brackets we have here. Then Group D is also pretty tough as well. So comparing them to these two groups, like Group D has Onyx and Evos. So like, I mean, and that's Onyx, that's Evos Endo. So literally, that's one of the toughest teams out here as well. So compared to the other brackets or the other groups that Gosu could have got in, they got in a pretty easy group. So honestly, I think that at this point, they have to go through. They have to pull through and just, they have to make it to the playoffs, man. I'm hoping that they make it to the playoffs. I'm actually glad that they don't have to go up against the tougher teams. But I think that one thing that Vietnam has going for it, and Vietnam has this in their favor, is that they did get such a tough bracket and such a tough group, and they actually survived it. They survived that group. They came in, they secured their spot. And I think that now they can go into the other matches pretty confident because they know the level that these guys play at, and now they know how to prepare. Because you got to think about the fact that they wasn't really going up against players like this either. Like these countries has never been here before. So now they know that they can hang. Now they know what to expect. So I think that VFM is just going to have a lot more confidence coming into this, as opposed to Gosu. It still has some learning to do, but I'm confident that Gosu can, I think that they can pull it together. They can really do well. And like I said, this roster change coming with Paulo, I think that he's one of the best analysts in the Mobile Legends community. He's one of the best analysts, and he understands the game. And now that he's been there getting coached by these other guys and stuff as well, I think that his ability and everything that he knows, all the information, is going to be a huge value to the team, because he's actually there to help them implement it live. He's going to be there shot calling, making the right decisions, or at least hopefully he's making the right decisions. And having that type of presence on your team while you're playing, being able to talk to him and basically understand his thought process and what's going on, what you should be doing and stuff like that, I think that's invaluable. I think that a lot of times when we saw Gosu struggling, it's because like somebody was getting tilted and then everything just fell apart because they stopped communicating. So as long as you have a communicator like that, I feel like that there's some hope. But this is going to be tough now. This is really going to be tough, and there's even more pressure on Gosu, sadly. There's more pressure on Gosu, because if Vietnam can come there without all the hype and they can compete with some of the best teams there, I mean, people are going to say that Gosu has no excuse. You're getting all this help. You're getting all this extra training. You're this popular and famous. Everybody's saying you're the best in the world and stuff like that. Your players are the best in the world. Now you really have to show up. So while I'm happy to see Vietnam, because what you all have to understand is history is being made here. History is being made right here. For the first time ever, Vietnam is being seen as a powerful country right now. They come in taking out these guys who esports has been based around these guys for years, and Vietnam comes in, like, they get this opportunity. They're like, yo, we taking this opportunity. We're going to show them Vietnam is a huge contender for being the best in Mobile Legends as well. And they're proving that right now. They literally came in walking over RRQ. They caught RRQ off guard like it wasn't nothing, bro. Like, the way they caught RRQ off guard, and I could tell that nobody was really expecting that from them. Honestly, I didn't know who they were, but yeah, like nobody was really expecting that. So I'm interested to see how this turns out, man. I'm super excited for this event. I can't wait for Gosu to compete tomorrow. I really hope that they do well. I want to see them do well. I want to see them win. It's just it's nerve-wracking because this team VFM just came in and did this, because I already know the haters are waiting. The haters are just waiting. It happens in Mobile Legends. So I mean, hopefully this pressure don't get to Gosu. Hopefully they go in there, do what they've been practicing, training and stuff, and do what they got to do. And yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. So let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. Write your thoughts. Be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'm going to catch you all on the next video, homies. Peace out, y'all.
I don't know nobody, so don't ask for no favors. Don't ask for no paper, they leave when you losing, but they coming back later. Promise they coming back later. I'm up now, she wanna